Once you have done that for that brand, then you want to look at all the elements of the campaign that you have gathered and put them virtually, if I may say, in front of you. And if you look at all those elements combined across all those elements for that campaign that you have gathered information on and example of, try to answer the following question to the best of your ability. 1. What do you think are the communication objectives or objectives that they try to achieve? For those objectives, what do you think is their target? What segmentation bases did they use? Right? What target market strategy does this reflect? For that target, what do you think is the value proposition that they try to promote? What is the formula of that value proposition? Is it more for less, the same for less for less? And try to describe that value proposition within the context of that product and its specific benefits and its specific features and stuff like that, right? For that value proposition and that particular target, what do you think is the place that Maybelline, if it were to be Maybelline, wants to give to its product in the mindset of the target that Maybelline is aiming at for its lipstick business, right? What is the place? In other words, what is the positioning strategy that you think, by looking at all the elements of the campaign that you have gathered, you think they try to have for that target in order to support that value proposition that you have identified? After that, what do you think is their major selling idea? You see that we are using all concepts, and those are not concepts that are now strangers to you. They are hopefully kind of familiar to you. So the more you use them, the more you integrate them in your analysis, the better you are, right? So what is the major selling idea? And what is the major selling idea strategy that they use? Are they unique selling proposition? Are they brand drama? Are they product positioning? Are they brand positioning? And once again, try to give a sense and describe what it means, particularly for the context, in the context of this particular product. What is a creative appeal combination that they have between emotional and rational? And what is a creative execution style combination, if any combination they have? Or what is the creative execution style that they have for that particular message, right? Nothing new. All those concepts has been covered in the class. Once you have answered those questions, then you are in a position to analyze this particular campaign for this particular brand. Remember, you want to do what I just mentioned to you, one brand at a time, right? Background, gathering information, and trying to answer those questions based on the campaign that you have gathered example of, and then you go to the actual analysis, where for that brand and that campaign and your conclusion in terms of communication objective and stuff like that, right? You want to answer 3 key questions. 1, would you say that the brand or the product behind the campaign has clear communication objectives, a clear target, a clear positioning, and a clear message? Is it clear to you? Between all the communication method example that you have in front of you for that company and that brand, is it clear? Is it also consistent? Do you see a consistency between maybe the print ad and the TV ad and the sales promotion? Do you see consistency or not? In all cases, whatever are your conclusions for this first question, provide rationale. Second key question for your analysis. Would you say that the strategies that have been chosen for this particular campaign to build the campaign with, meaning what is the major selling idea, what is their creative strategy, the creative appeal, the creative execution style, all those creative decisions, do you think that they were the right ones to be made and do it to support the achievement of the communication objectives, to support the positioning and the value proposition that you have identified? And do you think that they were all working well together? Is the execution style working well with the creative appeal that they have selected, all itself and themselves working well with the creative strategy, and all of them working well with the major selling idea that you have identified in the campaign? Are they working well together, right? And once again, provide your rationale. Last question. You know that based on your research, they might have chosen to use advertising and some elements of PR, maybe some banner ads online, and then some price discount through coupons and stuff like that. And if you look at all the communication methods and the example, the actual application, the actual activities within each of them, would you say that those are well conceived to support indeed the chosen major selling idea, creative strategy, creative appeal, and creative execution style? Were they the right one, right? And ultimately, are they also the right ones to support the communication objectives for the target that is aimed at, and to support the positioning in the value proposition, right? Were those methods and the way they were executed the right selection and the right execution to support the creative decisions and to support the communication objectives, positioning, and value proposition decisions, right? Boom, you come to your conclusion here about what this campaign is worth, right? That's what it is. And you do that one brand at a time. And once you have done that for each of the three brands, then you will come to your overall assessment. And your overall assessment would be to say, looking at the conclusions for each of the three brands that you have selected, well, which one do you think, which brand and which campaign for which brand, do you think was the most effective campaign? And which one among the three was, according to your conclusions and the comparison of your conclusions between the three brands, the least effective campaign? Quite interesting, right? Once you are done with that, then you can go to part two of your presentation, of your project, which is to take the least effective campaign, and you have developed some rationale to say why it is the least effective, right? And you want to take that least effective campaign and then develop a short recommendation about what you would like to improve and what you would like to add, change in that campaign to make it become effective. You might say, well, this campaign should be trying to aim at other opportunities than the ones that this campaign is trying to run after. Maybe you will suggest a new positioning. Maybe you will suggest a new value proposition. Maybe you will suggest another need, that the need or the combination of needs or problems, consumer problems that the company is trying to aim at are not the right ones. You want to aim at other needs. Maybe, right? You want to say that in some ways this campaign is not aiming at the appropriate communication objective. You might want to change those communication objectives. Maybe you want to say that the major selling idea that they use isn't the right one. Maybe you want to say that the creative strategies that they have, the communication strategy is not the right one. Or you want to say that their creative appeal and the creative appeals mix is not the right one. Or you might want to say that they need to have a different mix of creative execution styles compared to the one that they have right now. Or it could be any combination of those, right? So, is there an opportunity, a major opportunity for improvement? And if yes, what it is? And depending upon the opportunity that you will be selecting, or the opportunities, combination of opportunities for improvement that you will be selecting, then you will have to provide in a very short description what you think should be that improvement. So if you think that they should be changing their communication objectives, well, what should be the new communication objectives? If you think that they should be changing their communication strategies, what should be the new communication strategies? If you think that they should be changing their creative appeal mix, what should be the new creative appeals mix, right? So that's, in fact, part two. And every time you do you make a recommendation, provide a rationale, right? It's pretty straightforward. So the big part is really the analysis. The second part is indeed the recommendation of improvement recommendation for the campaign, right? So the expected deliverable for this particular term project at the end of the 2 weeks is a narrated PowerPoint presentation, right? So it's a PowerPoint presentation that you record your voice as you are speaking and presenting what you have on the screen, right? So it's a narrated PowerPoint presentation. You will find instruction on how to use that function with PowerPoint. I don't know the instructions for Keynotes. If you were to use Keynotes, I will ask you to avoid using Keynotes. Look at the instructions on how to develop it and how to record it, and then how to submit it. And if you can avoid to use Keynotes, that would be a good thing, right? So you have in any way a video on how to record a narrated PowerPoint presentation in the module introduction. And if you were to decide to use another software than PowerPoint to record your presentation, let me know in advance, so that based on my experience already with such submission, I can tell you what can work and what cannot work before you jump into the pool and do the job of recording the presentation. In the assignment description, you have a clear instruction how to submit your narrated presentation, depending upon if you are a PC user or if you are a Mac user with PowerPoint on your Mac, or if you are a Mac user, right? These presentations should not be lasting more than 15 to 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes in terms of narrated presentation is already a long thing. And before you actually record, don't develop your PowerPoint presentation and then straight and direct record it. Speaking, practice, and then once you feel that there is a clear synchronization and a straight to the point approach for your presentation and a clear synchronization between the slides and what you say, then record. Rehearsal and preparation is, you can feel that immediately when you listen and watch the presentation, which I will be doing when I look at your presentation. You feel immediately the difference if it has been rehearsed and prepared or not. So rehearse, prepared, and then record. It looks like a lot, but in some ways, like usual, you have the appetite comes as you eat. Of course, I'm French. And the challenge always looks much bigger when you are in front of it than when you start to, in fact, tackle it as you move on. So just start, jump, and go into the pool, and you will see that you will enjoy the ride. Also, do not hesitate to use the team discussion forum, term project team discussion forum that you have been set up for you in terms of 3 to 4 students to really exchange ideas and work together to help each other for that individual assignment. All right? So good luck. I'm 100% sure that you will do very, very fine. And I see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.